Hey, welcome everybody to Inside Out 181. So as a reminder, please make sure that your cell phones are off. Also for the audience in Zoom, if you can make sure that your audio and your videos are off. And then for the associates that are joining us via Zoom, please turn your video on after I finish speaking because Sibyl will be coming up here. So I want to welcome everybody, not just only the people here physically, but the people virtually. And also I'd like to inform you that we are one mentoring artist short for this residency. Nina C. Young was not able to attend this residency. She has postponed it till the year 2023. So we only have two mentoring artists for this residency, Sibyl Kempson and Suzanne Bocanegra. So I would like to thank ACA staff, the associates, but first of all, Tony Archie, who was our, how should I say, kitchen intern. So she made fantastic desserts. I think I gained about 10 pounds, just to let you know. I also would like to thank Lexa, Walsh, and Dan Nelson. Lexa for her wonderful cuisine, and Dan for you washing the dishes. So yeah, we're gonna get started. So Sibyl.
Well, thank you very much. I can't stop saying it again and again. What a wonderful way to come out of this crazy year of quarantine and isolation. And what a wonderful group of people to be with. I was really scared to be around any people, and you all made it so easy. I think 85% Libra is a good ratio. It just makes it makes for kind of endless pleasantness, which is rare in a group, any group, especially a group of artists. But it's been wonderful, and I think it's a really special model for a residency. As soon as I got here, I began to really appreciate the way that it is built and structured and the sort of fluid way that it moves. And also just how special the place is and how much is here. And I know in our group, we spent, even though we weren't all here, we still spent a lot of time, I feel like contemplating that. The power of a place, and particularly the power of this place. And also in great appreciation of the presentations, Doug's presentation about the bees and the magic of the bees, and Eve's presentation, which I missed, but I got a chance to speak with Eve, and Lexa's incredible work that she's doing in the world, and how generous that is to share her secrets with everybody. And I feel very grateful to Annie B. Parson, who was my recommender. She recommended Suzanne and myself, and I'm just so excited that it worked out that I could be here with Suzanne. She means a lot to me. Her work means a great deal to me. I'm sort of endlessly inspired by the way that she thinks and makes and lives in the world. So that was really great to be here with Suzanne. I love you. And thanks for letting me have Ray here. It's been really great, like literally the time of his life. I don't know how I'm gonna get him out of here. And Suzanne's group of artists has just been so kind and so embracing and also so inspiring. All of your work and your gusto and joie de vivre was contagious and broke me out of my workaholic, I guess, norm that I have been cultivating over the last year so many times over, and joyfully. And I want to also thank Nancy, who's been so kind and fun. And of course, Ivan and Elizabeth, who have been so supportive and like guiding in this really, really great way. And of course, Tony, the desserts, and just the fun in general, and Morgan as well, and Dan as well. Nice to have you join us. So it's been quite idyllic, and in our group, yeah, it was a little loosey-goosey there. I was a week late because I was afraid to drive in the gas shortage, and you know, folks are dealing with a lot of stuff coming out of this collective near-death experience that we've just been through, I would say together, but really it was also kind of separately. And so just respect for all of the presence that was here in our group, for those who were able to make it physically, Amelia and Amanda, A and A, as I have come to. They're birds of a feather, and it was right from our first Zoom. I was like, they look like they're perching together. It's so sweet. And then I didn't know that they knew each other from another residency, so. And we miss Eric. Eric, wherever you are, I hope everything's going okay. But next time, we'll be with you next time. It would have been fun, but it also was nice to have a group of women as well. There was a lot of talk about wombs, for example, that might not have happened if Eric, although Eric has a womb, men have them too, but I don't know if we would have talked about it as much. And Mariah and Monica and Leonie just continually blew our minds from their lives that weren't physically here in the space, and we explored so much about our work and the intersections of our work, and what we want, what we want to build in the world, rather than just what we don't want to happen. And that was really inspiring. I keep using that word inspiring. It's getting boring a little bit, but that's the best word I can think of. I just took a few notes, and here were some key words and ideas from our time together. Intuition and imagination as ways of knowing, legitimate ways of knowing, like just as legitimate as logic and reason. That's the kind of thing that was going on in our group. Animism, the idea that everything is alive. Epigenetics, the idea that we carry everything from our ancestors, that we are the living, fruiting body of mycelium of life that is just not present with us and isn't seen. How all of that manifests in the body, in our living body, and how our body and whatever's going on with the body, especially the feelings, informs our writing and our actions. The idea that everything is a process. Mariah's statement that everything is impossible, which I also love. Questions such as, what do we extract and where do we extract it from? Where do we get our power from? Where does our protection come from? What do we gather? How do we decide? What do we truly want? Yesterday when Mariah said, so you guys just write whatever you want, that was a great moment, a great question for me. And this is taking from Mariah's day of talking to us about her work and showing us her work, the body as a knowing organism, also memories held by land and landscape, Monica said one day her favorite part about a residency is learning each other's share. Leonie citing that in a residency she likes to expand into negative space pockets. Amelia saying she likes to avoid people or moods that are negative. Too much complaining, not too much. So I did my best. Amanda finding surprise. Also, Amanda's connecting consciousness with place, with ancestry, with plant life especially, with lineage, with the womb. Just such a big heart, like coming on walks with me. Oh, you guys are going for a walk, can I come? And Amelia too, and we had a few really, really wonderful walks here. Amelia, regathering, recreating. So like taking the deepest meaning of the word like R&R, rest and relaxation or recreation, and saying, I'm actually recreating myself and I'm recreating the world, remaking the world. And doing that as a discipline was, I told her I really admire that, and it was helping me to stay grounded in like not getting too spun up and remembering to stay relaxed and to stay open and receptive to what wants to come through. We talked about this question, do we have the thought or does the thought have us? And that sort of guided us as well. As Monica put it, the stories we own and the stories that own us. Monica also said one day, I am the dream of myself. Mariah's proposal to move against productivity, just something I think that was a gift out of this very difficult time of this pandemic. The value of dumbing it down, the value of stupidity, of seeing clearly with eyes that are unclouded by too much understanding. Liberation, creating a space of creative, making a space of creative liberation, of belonging, of healing, of expression, and of expulsion, of what we don't need anymore to move forward. And the idea of going back to a previous time to retrieve something that can benefit us in moving forward. So those are my reflections. Everybody did a lot of really deep work, and it wasn't focused on productivity or results so much, but on those things instead, which I feel we have to do right now in order to move forward. So congratulations, everybody. I enjoyed it so much. It was very meaningful.
Hey, Sibyl, can we introduce your associates first, the ones that are virtual? Leonie Bell, if you could, yeah, I see you have your camera turned on. And
oh my God, Leonie. And Leonie was such a great Zoom participant, even during the presentations, putting stuff in the chat, encouraging us, and presentation.
Would you like to say something?
Yeah, I don't know. Sibyl, that was amazing. I love that so much. It was like a Oscar speech, but yeah. Wow. Wow. I'm looking at a mic, but I'm not on the mic. Interesting.
I'm right here.
Okay, Sibyl, I'll feed you the lines and you say them out, okay? I had a really, really good time. And I also had a lot of FOMO. And I think this just means that I got to get over there, down there. And yeah, I just had this is the most in-person experience I've had on Zoom. if that makes some sense. And I think it's a little bit like going to school or something where the year after you graduate is like the 4th or 3rd learning year. And I feel like when I leave next week, I'm still going to be processing and learning. And I'm super excited for that because I haven't had that in a long time. And there's been a drought. So thank you for this well of just great energy and magic, I think.
Thank you. Thank you. Monica Brown. Hi, Monica.
Hello. It was some feeling of light hitting that chair, her not sitting there, empty weight. It is not light, but reflection of light. It is not light, but reflects. It is not light, but golden reflection of light. It is not light, gold. It is not light, but golden reflection of light. It is not gold, light. It is not light, but golden reflection of light. It is not gold, but reflects. The woman who moved despite the veil, who navigated it through the dimension of faith, through a love that sustains. Backbone and breast that nurtures and hopes, that thinks it worthwhile to believe in a brighter day. The strength, support, and nurturance that instills the faith in another spirit. Backbone and breast, strength and support, a hope for a future. It is not light, but reflection of light. It is not light, but reflects. Her name is Yeoman.
Hi, I'm here, but I'm just here to say hello. I'm not sharing anything in terms of work, but I can share about the experience, which was definitively like unique and exceptional. I think it like recast my whole opinion about Zoom, and also what's possible in different formats of people coming together. I really like appreciated the whole like model of working with Sibyl and our daily meetings. I think particularly at this time of history or this moment in pandemic and sort of moving maybe in a more optimistic direction, is just like quite a salve to come together and meet every day and share our practices and think together. Definitely echo Leonie about a lot of FOMO, and it's unfortunate not to be able to be there in person, but I was actually remarkably impressed how effective this combination of digital and in-person meetings turned out, and the kind of momentum like the group acquired together. And yeah, I mean, it's hard, it's very sad almost tomorrow's our last day together, so maybe we can have like a version 2 or something. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Thank you, Sibyl. Thank you, everybody in my group. Thank you, ACA.
Thank you. Thank you very much for joining.
Thank you, Mariah. We love you.
Oh, also, I want to say something.
What's that again? Oh.
I think it's really cool to come from dancing choreography, and it was really great to work outside of my discipline. And I think that that's really amazing that the formats of the residencies enable that. So that's all. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can we go? I have to talk in here, I guess. Well, it's really hard that I'm going after Sibyl, so maybe we can just like take a deep breath. I am going to show a video first, which, be patient with me, which is this. Well, hi, and thank you for letting us be here in person. I feel really lucky that that happened. And I am just going to show this video of this gallery that is basically displaying every visual artist plus several other artists in here. First, I'm just going to show a video of that, and then I'll speak more about it.
I'm finishing this piece of my book. And what I mean by that is it doesn't matter how long it takes to finish it, I don't know. But that is the shape of where I am living and functioning. And then I'm going on to something else, the shape of which I have no idea. Only thing I know is it's going to be quite different. What I leave behind has a life of its own. I said this about poetry. I've said it about children. Well, in a sense, I'm saying it about the very artifact of who I have been. For those of us who live at the shoreline, standing upon the constant edges of decision, crucial, alone, for those of us who cannot indulge the passing dreams of choice, who love in doorways, coming and going in the hours between dawn, looking inward and outward at once, before and after, seeking now that can breathe future.
There's two trees out in the woods that will start blooming, and that's red maple and swamp willow, and that will happen in mid-January. And that signal for the bees. Bees are going to start bringing in pollen, and the queen is going to start laying more eggs and starting to build up the hive. And so the beekeepers are then getting ready for our first flow, which is famous honey orange blossom.
Thank you. That was was just a very kind of a short video of going through the space for the people who are not here. And the sound that you are hearing is a very rough cut on a tape that I've been recording just during the last month or so. I'm happy to explain more about the whole project to the people who are not here if you would like to email me, but for the people who are here, we're going to see it in person. These are some installation. I am really nervous about this thing that I just started doing, but it's just a very simple invitation for people to come together in a space that already existed and is outside. And I'm really hoping that it can move forward to other places in places where I can borrow spaces from people to bring different artists together. The only one of the things that's really important that I should mention, which I hope I do a good job, because everything came together today, is that this space was built by the team of an architect named Steve Badanes, and that's Residency 122 from 2007. Their team built this together, and it was really fascinating to see that they came with these 4 pages to see that they came up with a recipe for collaboration. And I'll just let you read it for the sake of time. These are their pros and cons, and I just think it's so amazing and applicable to any groups collaborating together. Can I move to the next page? Okay. And then they came up with a list of solutions on how to balance those 2 things together. Maybe they were Libras. And then they came up with a plan for what they wanted, the structure that I think has several different names: the pod, the gazebo, I accidentally called it the bazooka, and the pavilion. Yeah, all of those. Anyway, they had these kind of objectives. And I invited Elizabeth, who's here now. I'll let you read the labels on your own, who is a visual artist also, to include this lovely painting. And I'm so happy that she accepted. This is Krystal DiFronzo. These are my drawings from gas stations in Nebraska. This is Dee. Lucy. I'm sorry I'm going fast, but I kind of have to. Dan. Ivan, excuse me. I wish that everyone was here and would look through these pieces that one image don't do justice for them. These are zines that Ivan included in the show. Amy. Do you guys want to explain any of these? No, okay. I'm sorry if I'm not a great curator right now. I can't really speak to anyone's work. I'm just saying names, but because we're all going there in person. Lexa included this zine, can I call it a zine? Or a publication, that printed matter that that actually happened during one of the nights here at ACA. and Sandy. And I would love to go back to any of them if you would like to look or answer any questions. And I just want to thank everyone at ACA who runs this show, to Lexa, Tony, Morgan, Dan for nurturing and spoiling us every day, and all the associates and mentoring artists of Residency 181, and everyone who accepted to be in the little goofy exhibition. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Sandy, Sagittarius. Yeah, I want to, thank you for having me here. It's been so wonderful. I want to second and third and fourth everything that's been said. The food was amazing. Y'all should bring Tony back full time. But yeah, I'm just gonna play a video or a film that display on.
That is usually covered by our phone.
Yeah, it was one of the first things I made that I felt like I like this making art thing. It's called Deja Vu, and it's about my experiences with deja vu.
I think our conversation sort of was a tangent over the idea with the difference between relativity and Newton's idea of gravity, tethered by some full force, and as they moved, the thing just sort of followed along as if it was a string playing it, or something that was spinning in centrifugal force, like if you spin an object, and with an object with a string to it, it'll form a straight line and just travel a circular path, or whatever path. And Einstein's idea that things weren't really connected by a string, they were connected by a fabric, a three-dimensional space-time fabric. And if you think about it in 2 dimensions, it would be like if you stretched a really thin membrane, put a really large object in the center. It would make a depression, and 3-dimensional in space, that's happening in 3 dimensions, of course. And that depression is the curvature of space-time, and things just follow the path of the curvature of space-time that objects, depending on their mass, produces. Then we sort of you asked me about deja vu, and I sort of got on a tangent about quantum mechanics and entangled states of electrons and various things like that, and multiverses. How if an object, exists and it has the ability to be in different states at the same time, if a probability exists, it must exist in all of them, all the places. So like in a photon, if it strikes a mirror at an angle and it has a choice to be able to go through the glass or be reflected straight up at a 90-degree angle, if it hits a 45-degree surface, both of those are possible. So the electron at that moment must exist in both positions. It must be traveling off, at a 90-degree angle and then traveling straight through. So that's sort of a concept of the multiverse. So all these particles and subatomic particles, they're all doing this all the time at the quantum level, and it's just a probability. You can't determine where anything is or what it will do. It's just a probability, and if you look at this probability over a long period of time, you'll get the percentages, and that'll confirm your theory is right, but you won't be able to say, okay, this electron will definitely do this. No more than you can say, if you flip a coin, 50-50 times, 50-50 chance, it'll be heads or tails, but you can't predict whether or not it'll be head or tails, but if you do it enough times, you'll get a 50-50 ratio. And then it went into deja vu where, if we blew this up on the macro scale and tried to apply it to things like the size of a whole universe or planet or everything that happens, everything you do in your life, it may exist in a parallel universe or past lives or happening simultaneously, who knows, but you might live your whole life doing everything you did up until a point with one little change, and at that little change, your life changes from that, but everything else would be the same. And deja vu might be some sort of connection that we may or may not have. I don't know, like some type of entanglement states between these various selves of yours throughout the multiverse, and you remember doing something, it's almost exactly the same and maybe exactly the same up until the point that you turn left instead of right. But you might live your whole life doing everything you did up until a point with one little change, and at that little change, your life changes from that, but everything else will be the same. And deja vu might be some sort of connection that we may or may not have. I don't know, like some type of entanglement states between these various selves of yours throughout the multiverse, and you remember doing something, it's almost exactly the same and maybe exactly the same up until the point that you turn right instead of left.
Thanks, Emsaki, for that video. Emsaki really did pull that together in like a day. So we should give her another round of applause. But that pod looks really great, and I can't wait to go see it after this in person. And Sandy, what? The film just like blew my mind. I think you're really playing with us in that one, and I have a lot to talk about after this. But so I'm Amy. I'm one of the people that makes up the 85% Libra community here, as Sibyl will put it. But it is like when you meet another Libra, you're like, you're a Libra, aren't you? And it's like a parent. So, and also the people who are not the Libras, they help the Libras make the decisions. So it's really helpful. But so I wanted to just share like a snippet, little taste of what I was kind of doing here. So I will screen share. Oh, okay, it's working. Okay, so this coming here to this place really was a marker for changing my life in a way, because I sort of up and left, and me and my partner kind of don't have any jobs right now, and just kind of decided that since this was in person, so thank you so much for allowing us to be here. It really was a marker for me as changing the course of both my life and my art practice, which sounds wild, but it really is. So this residency marked my new business here, as you can see up on the screen, called the MH Archive, which stands for Mobile Home or Manufactured Home. And I'm also lucky to have in the audience tonight my friend Tanya, who created this logo in like a day. And now I'm wearing, you can see in this image, my truck has a magnet and my shirt has the patch. So I created this business. And since I've been here, every day I've kind of embarked on a journey of going to these communities and investigating them. And this, hold on. So this is one of the communities I went to. This is located on Seabird Island, which is located over the Dunlawton Bridge towards Daytona Beach. And this mobile home park is literally an island of manufactured housing and trailers and mobile homes, and has been there for over 60 years. And that sound you heard is just the chimes and the sounds of the wildlife. But this community was really special in a way where I met the owners and the managers and some of the local residents, and it's an old fish camp, which is common here in Florida along the coast. Of developing back in the day in the 50s, and now they have these amazing plots of land. So this is a video of me on a golf cart going through a mobile home park called Riverside Mobile Home Park, and it's located about 9 miles north in Port Orange. And it's like nestled along the Halifax River, also an old fish camp community. And the manager was kind enough to take me around and tour me. This was like full of really colorful homes, also really nice people, and it was really great to have someone care enough to show me around and tell me the history of this place. And I think through the work of me investigating these communities I had all these ideas of what I was going to do, because I've been doing this work for about 5 or 6 years. But here, coming to Florida has allowed me to kind of have the time and space to be doing this on a daily practice. And I think I'm learning that they're teaching me what my project is about. So it's been really special to learn from them. So this is just a snapshot from like my journal that I keep here. This is from Redland Estates, which is located about 1 mile from the Arts Center, as you all see it coming in. It's between the A1A highway and the Arts Center Avenue. So I make it a point every time I go to a neighborhood that I reflect on it and I draw a map, and I have a terrible memory, so this is my way of recording my experiences and how I felt, and the people that I've met, to record their stories, upon also recording audio, visuals, photographs. This is Walt. Walt is in this. So this neighborhood was the last one I went to since I've been here, and it was like magical, and I met so many great people. This is Walt, and he's a carpenter, and those chairs in that van are his that he refinished, and he also built the dock down the road from his house, and his number one goal in life is just to fish every day. So he was super sweet. This is Ray. He was so friendly. He gave me a Sprite, and we talked, had a long chat, and he renovated this mobile home himself completely, this beautiful vintage home. And he's also fighting spinal cord cancer at the same time, so he's pretty amazing. And then this is Debbie and Diane, and they were like, I could hear them gossiping from like a mile away, and I like met them. She also loves Bigfoot, and we had like such a great, I know Sibyl loves Bigfoot as well. I don't believe in Bigfoot, but I love people who do. And she swears she has a photograph of Bigfoot's footstep in the woods, and that Diane's son also has a photograph of the actual Bigfoot. So I'm waiting to get those pictures still. But they both like had a lovely conversation with me, and Diane works with a local veterinarian with spaying and neutering cats in the local areas, and they, invited me into their home, and they were so friendly and were a wealth of stories and knowledge. And I just want to say thank you to all those residents that I've met that probably have no idea I'm showing these pictures or videos right now, but because of them, I'm learning so much more about my own experiences growing up in a mobile home park and their experiences as well. So thank you, and thank you to ACA.
I wrote a little speech. It's a little corny. But everybody else was kind of corny too, so I guess that's okay. All right. So, and this is the end of our 3 weeks together. And it's been a kind of incredible time because we sort of experienced this, the end of or what we hope is the end of the pandemic together. I remember when we first arrived, everybody was like masked and like a little shy about, do you touch each other, do you shake hands and everything? And then after a day or two, we were all just like before pre-pandemic. And it's kind of amazing. So anyway, this is so not me to do a speech like this, but let's see if it works, okay? All right. Making art is such a human thing. It's making a picture of the world, whether it's a play or a painting or a piece of music, a dance, whatever. And it's a hunt for meaning in the making of that picture. Making art is a fragile thing, and the world doesn't always support it. It's not well structured to support it. And that little flame that you're carefully tending, that you've decided that you're going to tend for your whole life, can so easily be extinguished. And that's why it's so wonderful and so remarkable to find a little bit of nourishment and a little bit of support, like here at ACA. And we really don't need that much, just 3 weeks, and great Lexa, Tony, Megan food, and an island where making is prioritized, and the good company of other people who are beating their heads against the wall trying to make things like we are. And then off we go, back out there, doing our best, and making sense of the incomprehensible and making our pictures of it and following our trails of breadcrumbs, and then those breadcrumbs disappear before we have a chance to understand them, and it can be so frustrating, and then we start searching for that trail again and hoping. Ultimately, that's what we do as artists, is we hope. We're all professional hopers. And Dee, Lucy, Emsaki, Krystal, Sandy, Amy, I mean, I knew you guys were really great artists because I picked you all, but you were actually better than I could have expected. And I thought it was really wonderful how you guys really, like, it seems like almost immediately you just bonded with each other. You really started to just kind of flow into each other. And I hope it all lasts. I hope we all stay in touch. And also Amelia and Amanda, it was so great to have you guys as part of the whole thing. And Sibyl, you know, your crazy, weird imagination, it's just a privilege to be around it, even for 2 seconds. I mean, nobody's like you. And then Ivan, Elizabeth, Lexa, Dan, Nancy, Tony, Doug, and Mariah, Monica, and Leonie, even though, you know, I really didn't meet them, their presence was here. And I know there's other people at ACA that support the whole operation, and a lot of them I didn't meet, but thank you very much. You're all so inspiring, and thank you so much.
Hey, Suzanne, before you get too comfortable, can we get your whole group up there? All the visual artists, please. Take a bow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Hi. I want to invite everybody to the pod and to the studios for those who are able to. And I want to thank everybody in virtual Zoom that joined us. Thank you very much. Also want to thank the mentoring artists for being able to do this residency and the associates that were able to participate both virtually and in person. Thank you very much for making this a memorable 181.
These are the brainstorming thought process. You guys can be with 2 people now. Hello.
Hey.
Welcome to the pod.
Hey, thank you.
Look at this. I know, 2007.
Was that 7?
Well, that's when
Oh, it's so cool.
Is it a map?
I was watching this documentary.
I mean, it's very mappy.
It's snappy.
Maybe
Not
it's
sure if it is you. A map. Yeah. Could be a type of map.
Oh, so I can't read it.
It's like almost like a yeah. It's really tiny text.
She didn't do nothing.
Oh yeah, that sounds good.
She didn't do nothing.
Emsaki, do you want to play your?
They call it organizing now, anyways, which makes it sound so. I don't like.
You should play your
nothing.
Ivan. Oh, I know my recording's not done. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
It can be in the range. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it's fine.
It went through.
Thank you.
I love it. It's one of my favorite spots.
Yay.
This is my birthday. Oh, there's a nest right there.
What do you mean?
Retreat within a retreat.
At art openings again.
Hi,
Kelly.
You're not.
Sibyl.
You gave it to Lucy.
Lucy.
I have.
Lucy has some too.
I did too.
I think Lucy has one down there.
Do we share this?
Yeah, we're gonna share it.
Is this
Amazon is offering sign-on bonuses up to $1,000, plus get up to $20 an hour for select roles. The best part, we're hiring near you, so start now to take home something greater. New, higher wages with a sign-on bonus.
Inspiring weddings to a sweet and smoky finish. This jewelry show won't last long. Churches bringing that down-home flavor.
Done with dark spots? We are too. New Neutrogena Rapid Tone Repair Serum with 20% pure vitamin C for smoother, brighter skin in 1 week and visibly reduce dark spots in 4. A serum so powerful, dark spots don't stand a
of this tour. Okay. Thank you all for
especially something as large as the small play. I'd be interested to see if they hold up to being painted differences. So that would be one like as coated like leaves and then when you let it drip off, like as opposed to putting it like a mold. So it would hold up.
If you do it like jumping it up a small amount at a time.
That's what I'm like, I don't want to experiment.
You can. You should.
Especially in driving, but it's insane. But certain things that you know, you just develop on their own, like friends kind of heavy.
It can be, but I think if you give it a good support, you know, before you pour.
Dependent for sure. Dependent.
I do have a lot of beats. You can have a lot of beats.
I want beats for sure.
Oh, it's your world?
Yeah.
Do you have the whole world? Oh, because Lucy.
We all.
Lucy.
Okay, I saw